Welcome back to the Co-OpCast. How's everybody doing? I'm glad to be back here with you guys. This is going to be a really special episode for me because we're here doing a player 4 with my brother. Say hi, Will.
Hi.
Yeah, kind of different. So if you guys can't tell, we're all in the same room together again, kind of like we did with the Christmas episode. I got to be home for spring break for a week. So we're here doing it live, doing it with each other. That sounds wrong, but let's keep going.
I was thinking the same thing. Sorry.
I can't believe we're back in the same room again. Last time we did this, it was Christmas, and now it's, middle of April?
Yep.
And fast. We're already on our 21st episode now.
Yep. Just to break the fourth wall with you guys a little bit, we're kind of doing some back-to-back episodes while I'm home so that we can be able to have these fun memories together and stuff. So if it feels like our timeline's a little off in the next couple weeks, it is. So just letting you guys know. So with this episode, we're just planning on getting to know Will. Is basically like a player 4, what he's into, what his gaming like. We're probably going to jump into a couple of mission stories that he has because his mission stories are hilarious and stuff like that. But before we jump into that, how are you guys doing?
Pretty good. I'm getting sealed this Wednesday.
Freak. That's exciting.
Wow. I didn't yeah.
It's like big news.
Do you want to
expound
just a little bit about it?
So in our church, when we go to those big white buildings that you guys see, they're called temples, and we get married pretty much in the church so that we can be sealed forever. So that in our church, death does not separate you from marriage. So, that's happening Wednesday. So we've been married for a year, but with COVID, we couldn't do that. So.
Can you have more people? How many people can sit in there?
14 only. 14?
Yeah. You're only going to have 12, but that's still...
Well, we had 14 as well. It was 16 people altogether when we did it.
Yeah.
Is anyone coming from out of state?
No.
Nice.
Is that good? Good.
It's a long drive. Trust me.
There's not enough space for them. Because my grandparents, parents...
There's already enough people here anyway.
Well, when your parents have 6 kids, there's not enough room.
Their
spouses and
we're locked and loaded.
Cousins.
I just drove to Rexburg and back, and that's like a 9-hour trip. I mean, this is coming out later, but the time we're recording this past week, we literally drove there and we stayed there for less than 12 hours and then drove back the next day.
Mm-hmm.
So we went and picked up Mimi's sister, and she'll be here with us for the summer. So it's been a good week so far. It's still pretty cold, so we're dealing with frost control and things like that. So hopefully our cherries don't die.
Yeah.
What you do is you take the blossom. If you see blossoms on trees, you can pull it apart, and there's a little stem inside. And if it's green, it's still alive. If it's shriveled up in black, then it's dead.
It's dead.
And my dad, he calls them black wieners. He's I don't know why I'm saying this on the episode, but he said the only black wiener you want is on a black man.
Exposed.
Not on the tree. Not on the tree.
We got you.
So it's pretty funny, but it sucks when you go to an orchard and you pull out a dozen blossoms and they're all black. You're just where are the live ones? And then when they finally grow, there's way more cherries than I thought there was going to be. So usually we're okay, but you never want to lose those cherries for just one day of the year, killing out 30% of them. So
yeah, and doesn't it push back the season too a little bit?
I think so.
Yeah,
but it's just not a good time of the year right now. Spring sucks. It's windy. It just cuts right through you when you're working outside in the wind.
For 7
cold.
to
You're
10
dealing
hours.
with ice cold water on your fingers with the wind blowing on them.
Mm-hmm.
It sucks. I just cut all 4 of my fingers doing some irrigation stuff. So that's fun. But it's good to be here and record. It's always a nice time.
It's always a pain for farmers like you guys, but then for me, it's the happiest time of my life because I get to go out on my playground, out at the great golf course. So
love it.
I'm excited for spring.
Fix our slices.
Yeah.
Or our hooks.
It's in the summer, 4th of July, all the family's over for, 4th of July and stuff. And we're working 10 hours a day still. And everyone, every day I drive by Grandpa's house and there's people swimming at the pools because they have 2 little pools there, for those of you who don't know. And my dad always drives by when I'm with him. He's just yep, they're on their break. We'll get our break winter time.
Mm-hmm.
So I like winter a lot because it's a lot more chill. But
get to do what you want to do.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, just like the last couple episodes, I'm just home, chilling, hanging out with the fam. That's about it. So we could just jump right into the episode. So
Yes.
how you doing, Will?
Don't attack me, please.
It's kind of directed.
I might
to
be
where
the
you wanna
smallest
talk.
one here, which is kind of, I don't know. It's whatever, but no, I'm doing good. Spring break's over, which stinks, but gotta get back to work. Baseball starts tomorrow, so I'm kind of excited, but I also have allergies, so it's not so exciting. So we'll see.
Do you have to, since we're in Washington, do you have to wear like masks at baseball practice or no?
I don't know yet. Our athletic director isn't doing a great job with letting us know because it's his first year, so like
Gotta give
nothing
him
against
some
him,
slack.
but it might be that.
Are you doing high school baseball?
No, I do middle school,
Oh, sick.
so
Who's the other coaches?
Ziegler still.
Still?
Dude, he's gonna do it till he retires. Like,
Yeah.
that man loves it.
Yeah. Well, he just quit football and basketball in the last 3 years because he was just like basketball. But his favorite to coach is baseball.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. But no, I'm good. Living life. Nothing really much.
Nice.
As much as you can live in Royal City.
Yeah. Well, I did just finish my degree, but like you're looking for jobs, but jobs don't always like apply here. So I might have to be looking around. So.
Right.
Yeah. Stressful time because Will's also gone into teaching, right? Like
Yeah.
elementary ed. So summertime turns into stressful time when you don't have a job. Like,
Yeah, especially if I'm more stressed if I don't have a job in July because like our sister's coming, and then our other sister's coming, and then after that, 3 days later, I go fly to North Carolina where my wife's from.
Yeah.
And then I'm there for 2 weeks. So all of July, I'm like,
out of
if I don't
commission.
have, I'm like, sorry, I'm in a different state all the way across the country. I
we
can't
can
come
Zoom
interview.
chat.
Yeah, but it actually might work now because of COVID. But before, when I was looking for a job, nobody wanted to do it like a phone call interview or nothing. Like, so hopefully next couple months.
So, Will, while I was setting up for tonight, I heard you guys were talking in the living room about your mission. I heard you got some pretty good stories to tell us.
Yeah, I've got lots of stories. Actually, the funny thing is, at the end of my mission, for some reason, I was around every story possible for some reason. And your wife, Carter's wife actually is from Malaysia. That's where I served. But Mimi's sister is also here. And so we were just talking about where she was serving or the area she lived in. And just brought back lots of memories about people and things that differ from years upon end. Because I only served 8 years ago. I've been home for 8 years. And so just some stories. One of the funniest stories Collin brought up was the apple pie story.
Okay.
I was 6 months in my mission, and my companion was somewhere else on splits with somebody else. And so I was with the funniest guy in our whole mission. And he looked at us. We were playing cards just because it was hot and we were just waiting for it to cool down a little bit. And he was like, I really want an apple pie. And we're like, what? I'm going to order 10 apple pies. No, 20 apple pies. And that's how it broke down. And at McDonald's, they deliver in certain areas. And so he called McDonald's and was like, hey, I want 20 apple pies. And they're like, what? Yeah, you heard me. I want 20 apple pies. So we get these apple pies. I had one. And then I was like, oh, I'll have another one. And at the time he was eating, he ate 7 or 8. And he was like, guys, I don't feel good. Like, this was a bad idea. And so he went, like, we didn't leave the house for another 2 hours because he was like, I don't know. But at the end of the day, he was just like, guys, that was probably the best idea I ever had. 20 apple pies. I also went to jail, kind of.
Oh.
We were going to, it was Big Mac Monday. because certain areas have McDonald's, certain areas don't.
Yeah.
So we were
Gotta
gonna
take
we were
advantage of
yeah
it
we
where
gotta
you're
take
at.
advantage of it, and there's MSG in it, so like it
Oh.
tastes better. And so we were heading over, and we get stopped by these Malaysian guys, and it turns out they were cops.
Nice.
And they're like, "Show us your passports." And our mission president was like, "No, don't carry a passport." That's exactly why they asked for it. So we gave them a copy, and they're like, "No, this isn't your real one. Go get it." So me and two other guys were standing there. And then one of the people went down with the elder couple, and they brought our passports, and we were like, "Here's a passport. No, don't touch it. Here's our passport." And they're like, "Oh, so we're going to play that game."
Yeah.
So they put us in a cop car, 4 of us white guys in a Malaysian little people car,
Yeah.
and drove us down. But actually it was good because our mission president came from Singapore. We lived right across the border.
Yeah.
He was there within 20 minutes, and right as he walked in, there's this Chinese woman walking out, and he was like, "Hey, you look like a lawyer. Can I hire you?"
Yeah.
She's like, "Sure, what's going on?"
Yeah.
And literally within 2 hours, we were like, done.
Nice.
So, but we weren't allowed to leave the front office. And actually that's funny because that was the same area, but I served there 2 different times. The second time, that was when that happened.
Right.
I don't know what other ones would be kind of fun.
While that was going down, were you like scared or was it more exciting?
Kind of both, because like you never know, because you
Yeah.
could get thrown in jail and you might not see coming out. But when we got to the police station, we actually met with the chief, and the chief was like, "Our guys are idiots. Sorry." Like a full out like letter statement, like, "Sorry, they did this to you."
Nice.
Like that was unacceptable.
Is it just because like the people like the
Well, they
Malaysian
weren't-
cops and they're kind of racist or?
Yes, because if you know Malaysia, a Malaysian is actually an Islam, and so like Mimi, she's Chinese.
Yeah.
She's Chinese Malaysian, just the same way we call black people African American. It's just racial profiling. But when we got to the station, we were fine, and they only stopped us because we were white guys, just laughing up, making kind of a scene. Not really a scene, just
being happy.
just
white
being
dudes.
happy white people in missionary clothes,
Yeah.
which kind of points us out. And the funny thing in that story is we actually got McDonald's at the end of the day, so we were kind of happy about it.
You get an apple pie?
No, it's actually giving me a stomach ache thinking about apple pies right now.
So
It's like a great story, but
did you have like this is a question I always want to ask you, but did you have like an appointment that day too that like you just had to call later and just be like, "Sorry, we missed it. We were in jail." Like,
no, because that area was really hard. Like 98% of the population was Islam, and it being Islam, you can't teach Islam because you'd get kicked out or thrown in jail. So that area, and I got a new companion like 2 weeks before, so we didn't have anything.
Right.
And like if you don't show up, then they're just like, "Oh, they must not have had anything." So, but I guess a favorite companion of mine was Elder Alexius. He was from a state called Sabah, and he was just cool because he didn't know English very well. And one of the funny things, he would always be like, "Why do white people always go like end stuff with like Ness and Lee and Ish and just ending?" So he would be, "Oh, that's epicness Lee Ishner or Lee." And I was just like like it's funny, but like
Yeah.
like right now, I just feel like, oh my gosh, just like this Malaysian kid just
Yeah.
got lucky. And I served with him for 7 months or 5 months.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I've had some companions that didn't know English very well. I had one from Madagascar. It's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
It's just hilarious. Like,
it's fun to serve because like
Yeah.
that's like your entertainment for
yeah,
the day.
exactly. Like the whole day is just like hilarious. 'Cause
Yeah.
he would like. It's almost like a toddler. Like when you
Yeah.
laugh at something they do, they'll just keep doing it.
Yeah.
Like he was just in the passenger seat. We were driving. He like rolled down the window. And we had like McDonald's for that day. And we had just a big bag of it. He just crumples it up. He's like, just throws it out the window.
Yeah.
That's yeah. What the freak are you doing?
He saw I was laughing, so he just kept doing it with like bottles and stuff. Stop.
But yeah, he was fun. But I don't know. There's not much.
It's like your guys' experience, because we've said it a couple times on the podcast before, but Carter serving in South Africa, you're serving in Malaysia. It's so polar opposite to what me and Sawyer had, because both of us English speaking, we never had the opportunity to even come close to having somebody that doesn't know English. Like,
right. And you guys talked about how you got into Magic on your missions.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
oh, we played Magic.
The closest place to get Magic
Yeah.
cards in my mission is probably like off the continent.
We had one of my areas. We got really big into it, and it was because one of the investigators we had was from Myanmar, and literally she worked in one corner. The magic shop was another corner. So on our off day, we would look magic cards up and just pick what we wanted, go to him, and he'd find all the cards. Nice. We'd pay him, and then we'd make our decks, and we would play till midnight, which is against the rules, but like, what else are we going to do in Malaysia at midnight? So
sleep.
I mean, go find a pondan.
No, don't find pondans.
Don't find pondans.
No, they'll be out at 12 o'clock.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, pondan means transvestite.
Yeah. Yeah.
You want to tell us your gamer tag?
The gamer tag? Well, so because of Malaysia, I am terrified of transvestites, just because when you get flirted on by 3 of them and you can't move anywhere, it's just like, I just get grossed out.
Yeah.
And so my gamer tag right now is Pawn the Dawn, Pondan. It's not Pondan, but Pawn the Dawn.
Yeah.
And then I just threw 27 in there just to kind of make it more personal. But I kind of want to change it to Williedoo, because the kid, I was subbing in the high school, and every time this one kid came in, he was like, "Oh, what's up, Williedoo?" And I was just like,
"That's awesome."
Yeah, nothing much, bud. Hey, just go sit down and get to work. But that's I don't know. I just think it's funny, just when someone calls me Williedoo. It's just like
it comes off the tongue.
Yeah, it comes off the tongue.
Maybe a good gamer tag. Williedoo 27.
Yeah, Williedoo. But I don't know. I don't want to pay $10 to change on Xbox, and I don't know if their policies would change.
I think you might get a free one because they've changed their policy.
Yeah, they might have.
Yeah, we got our Xbox executive.
Yeah, executive over here. Because of you, I actually bought Game Pass.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I didn't pay for it. I got the $1 for 3 months during Christmas break.
It's beautiful.
And then it was like, oh, like you have Game Pass for free until November, and I was like, well, might as well keep it. There's no point of canceling it. So.
No, you really convinced a lot of people. I feel like I got a couple messages, and like, it sounds like you're like selling it to us, but in a good way.
Yeah.
Like it all made sense.
Because like I have it now too, but the reason why is because it had like 3 games that I used to have on Xbox that I was like, I want to have on PC too.
Yeah.
Like
And the transfer's so easy now. They made it so easy to play them on computer.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Which is why, like, in the next couple of years, I'll probably get a PC.
Nice.
If I can afford it. You know.
That, and if you can figure out a place to put it.
Yeah, and a place to put it. I don't have anywhere to put it in the house. Yeah, but there's no AC or heating, so it's freezing or you're just sweating the whole time.
You can only game in the spring or fall.
People driving by with my garage door open with my shirt off, and it's like, hey, what's up?
Drenched in sweat.
Yeah. No, doesn't sound fun.
Gotcha. Well, going on with Player 4 style, what's your all-time favorite game?
So on the, I guess, thing on your applying for this podcast, I put Destiny 1, mainly because of nostalgia, because you guys did that episode.
Mm-hmm.
But when my wife and I first got married, we lived at my parents' house. I bought an Xbox with Destiny, and then their internet sucked so bad that I didn't get to play it. So my semester back was one of the semesters where you go, man, I should have took like 17 credits. That was so easy. So I played Destiny probably every night, 3 to 4 hours a night. Just because, like, what else am I going to do?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I have friends. Yeah, I played flag football, but, like, one of those nights.
Yeah.
And my other friends were on their missions still, so it's like,
yeah,
I was kind of alone. And so, and then Mark got into it. Shout out Mark, 2 goals.
Yeah.
But he got into it, and so we would play on the weekend. They do a thing called trials. Were you playing when they did trials?
No.
It was
like really, really early into it. So.
Yeah, he played really into it, but it's basically it's just 3-on-3. If you die, you have 1 revive, or you can revive your teammates.
Right.
But it's best of, I can't remember how many.
7, I think.
I think 7. But if you won 9 games straight, you go to the lighthouse and you could get like super OP weapons. And that's what everybody loved about it.
Yeah.
And so me and him would just get on and be like, oh, let's try to get to the lighthouse.
Let's get to the lighthouse.
Yeah, but we were never good enough to the point where...
Because you're playing against like streamers and you're
Yeah.
playing it, like once you get to game 8, game 9, like you're playing against Dr. Lupo and Tim the Tap Man.
Yeah.
Whoever else is playing it at that time. Like,
or people that just play it and that's their living and that's the
Yeah.
only game they play. But like I was playing other games too.
So is it Crucible stat? Was it that? Was just
Sorta.
3?
Sorta.
No.
Right now in Destiny 2 they have it. I think it's called Elimination, but that's the same kind of play.
like
But it's Crucible.
it's kind of like a search and destroy-esque or like Valorant
Yeah.
kind of.
Oh, okay.
But it's 3v3 and you get revived. So if you can get in a corner where your teammate's at and like they're rotated around away from them, you can revive your teammate. And
Yeah. Me and Mark probably played 2 or 3 months every Friday because it only happens from Friday at 11 to Tuesday, and that's as like so you had 4 days and
month or
every weekend.
okay.
So like you had to play and like Friday night, like I'm gonna stay up till 3 a.m. And then our other cousin Hayden, he got into it. Mm-hmm. He put 500 hours into that game in 4 months.
Wow.
Like he got addicted. He even like skipped work. Like he said he was at lunch or at a meeting and he was actually playing Destiny.
Really?
And we're like, aren't you supposed to be at work or something? He's like, no, man, it's cool. Like that's Hayden.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just kind of fun to think about it.
No, I love those gaming like events where it's timed, like Friday to Tuesday, like you said. I love those kind of events because it brings a lot of people in, and it really like drives competition.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I really like that kind of stuff. I'm just disappointed in like how I reacted to Destiny when it first came out because I followed that game for like 1.5 to 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
I followed this YouTube channel. Like I think his name was More Console.
Yeah.
Yep. And I would keep up to date with every video he posted about all the leaks and all the things that they were coming out with a little at a time. I was so pumped for Destiny. I loved Halo at the time, and I was like, okay,
Made by Bungie.
I guess Bungie has something big planned, and I'm sure it is big still.
it is.
And when I first got into it, I was super excited, and I started realizing a lot of the things that I was watching with that channel, and a lot of the things that they were promising just wasn't there.
It wasn't happening fast enough.
Yeah.
And at the beginning, to get to the highest level, you had to do that specific raid, and you had to get every piece of gear for your character. And after that, they changed it to power or light.
Yeah.
I can't remember because they changed it again during Destiny 2.
Yeah.
So, but that changed, and I actually liked it more.
Yeah.
Because the game was just so big.
Yeah, and like some people can't do the raid just because like
Yeah,
they don't have enough people. Like
that's my big problem about it is that there's so many activities in it that you can do solo. But if you want to keep playing, like this week, I'm already done with the solo stuff.
Yeah.
But I can't beat anything else unless I have 2 more players or 5 more players. You have to have 6 or 3 players.
Wow.
And that's my problem with it is I just get exhausted of grinding because it's just like, I did it. Okay, see you next week.
Yeah.
Because it resets every Tuesday. So.
I don't know why that's like the special day for every game. Like that's Valorant too. Their weeklies come out. I think like Fortnite used to be
Tuesday. I think it's Thursday now.
Gotcha. Which is smart because then it's everybody coming to your game on a different day.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like every game was Tuesday. But like, I understand that what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because like, I stopped playing Destiny 2 after the first DLC came out.
Yep.
Because I took 2 weeks off before when that DLC came out, and I just felt overcome. Like, I felt behind, and I was just like,
yeah. And
the
that's
only way I'm gonna get back is playing 8 hours a day for a week.
Yeah, and the power level, you have to rank up every single time the new like expansion comes out. And now it's almost every season, so every 4 months you have to grind and get your levels up. So it's just like, again, like, no thank you.
Yeah.
So
I was expecting more of like an MMO type of game, which didn't really.
There's actually a lot of memes about it, because like some of the community thinks it's an MMO, and some of the community says no. Yeah. And then the rest of the community is like, who cares?
Yeah.
It felt like Halo, but the campaign levels, you would see other players, like maybe 2 players doing the thing in a Halo level, and then you go play matchmaking, basically. That's what it was when it first came out, at least for me, if my knowledge. And then there's those like legendary weapons that I'm sure everyone has now.
Yeah, the exotic weapons is like the high tier. And some of them are hard to get because you have to do the raid. Yeah. And there's only like a 0.5% chance you'll actually get it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, really?
Yeah. So.
Yeah. When they introduced raids, then when they announced that Destiny was gonna have raids, they said something like, "We had like all of these top gamers tested out, and only 1% of them could even get through it."
Yeah.
And then I was like, "Wow, this sounds really cool!" Like, it's almost like something that has such a high ceiling gap that like it's such a learning curve of a game where you're going to spend years being able to even beat the raid. But it sounds like something you just do.
So the first
over and over and over again until you get that exotic drop, and it just becomes a grind.
Yeah, and that's what people love about it. Like, I love watching Professor Broman. When I first started Twitch, that's who I found, because he was playing Destiny, and I was just like, "Oh, this is cool." And he would do like raid day, and they would go through all the raids in one day. Yeah. But with his buddies, like,
it'd take like an hour and a half to do one of them sometimes.
Yeah, if you don't do specific things, your team wipes, and then you got to start from a specific spot. Mm-hmm. But they got to the point where they were so good at it, and they could do all the raids probably under an hour and a half. Well, not all the raids. Each one takes about an hour to 2 hours.
If you do it perfect. Like, I remember the one raid that I did was on Destiny 2, was the first raid. Yep. I never beat it. I beat it once. But it took us probably about 6 hours to get to the final part, and we did the final part for probably about 4 hours until I was like, I'm defeated. I'm done.
Wow.
And the only reason I beat that one was because some guy got on, one of our teammates left, which is also the bummer, because now you have to find someone. Find someone. And then he was like, "Guys, you're doing this wrong. If you kill this specific creature, like, it becomes harder." And we're like, "Are you serious?" And then he was like, "Oh, you do this, change it." And it took us 2 runs, and we beat it. Nice. And I was just like, "Are you kidding me?" And Hayden was with me. It took us 6 hours. We beat it at 3 a.m.
Wow.
Like,
was it worth it? Did you get a lot of like loot?
It was just fun. It's just literally nostalgia.
Like,
that's all it really.
Like,
we finally beat it.
Yeah.
And then I never touched it again. I did like one of the encounters. It was called. We just called it dogs.
Yeah.
And you had to have
that one is fun.
That one is fun.
That is super fun.
But there's 2 guys on top, and they're finding like these lit up like plants, and you got to go over and like do something with the plant. Yeah. But you can't get caught by the dog, or you basically get eaten.
Yeah, everybody kind of.
And then if you die, one person dies. Like, good luck getting him revived, and then good luck beating it. Huh. Mm-hmm. And so, I don't know. That one's just fun.
So, like, they're like hitting beacons basically on the top and doing like certain things, while the guys on the bottom are kind of like sneaking around, trying to get to specific like points. After they weaken it up top, then you weaken it down below, and once it finally weakens down, it kind of like breaks their shield. It breaks
their shield, and then you have to like go ham on them and kill all the dogs till you go to the next round.
It takes like 2 or 3 times to do that, so it's like, okay, now it's gonna blow up basically, so you have to get to the safe zone and then do it all over again a couple times. And it's just
why would you do it over again?
Well, like, you don't kill the dog on the
You don't
first
kill
round.
Yeah,
Okay.
so after like 3 rounds, they get upset and they just come hunt you and kill you.
Oh,
And so you have to restart over.
yeah.
So, I don't know. That one probably I remember doing that for hours on end.
And then by the time, like, we'd run through it quick.
Yeah.
After a while.
After like the second week of doing that over and over again, we had it down to the point where we were in it for 15 minutes and then you're done.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. That's the cool thing about raids is like you memorize it and then it's fun. And then after like you do it for like 30 times, then it gets boring.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never done that. And the other problem with that Destiny's raids is also like 3% of people playing Destiny have beaten a raid.
Oh.
One raid. I haven't played another raid since the first one.
And there's like 6 out
There's
right?
6 of them, but only right now there's, I think, only 3 are playable because they cut down the game size so the loading time's way faster. Because like sometimes you would be sitting waiting to go to a specific spot for like 5 minutes and they're like, this is a waste of time. So
the main thing that I'd say that I have a gripe with Destiny 2 and Destiny in general is you don't see personal growth. Like, you just see gun growth and gear growth. And it's like, there's no, like, advantage for people that play a long time. There's advantage for people that beat the things and, like, have groups and are able to play. Like...
Yeah, you want to play specific raids to get specific guns, or you want to play trials during the weekend so you can get specific guns. And if you're so good at it, and there's also different roles of the guns, and they call them god rolls, and like specific perks do specific things, and so trials is not fun anymore because I don't have those guns that can defeat someone.
Yeah.
And so I would just get wiped every single game.
Yeah. There was a moment when Destiny 2 was free on Steam.
Yeah.
And I got it, and I went to Crucible because I'm like, I don't want to play campaign, I just want to play Crucible. And I had like the starting guns, and I was going against people that had all these crazy guns. And I couldn't compete with them. I was shooting them, and it was like hitting like, I don't, you know how it shows like the damage?
Yeah, it's in like 10s.
It was like 10s. I'm getting like one shot.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, especially there's like Iron Banner. They want it to be where like your level matters, your power level matters.
Yeah.
So if you're like not high enough, there's a percentage they're stronger,
Yeah.
and it's a lot too. So like
it's just
no fun.
They don't allow for new players to get into it.
Yeah.
And they don't bring like you. I feel like there's more choice paralysis in Destiny 2 or in Destiny in general than even like RuneScape.
It's gear based. It's not skill based anymore.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of the streamers are like. This isn't even fun anymore.
Yeah.
So like when the season comes out, they play it for 3 weeks, then they're done.
Yeah.
They're playing other games. So
that's why I loved Counter-Strike when I first started playing, because you get all the guns that they offer to you.
Mhm.
And it's purely all skill.
Yeah.
So you see your own skill grow throughout the time you play it, not your account, which I really liked that kind of concept.
And the other thing that I'm kind of like, this sucks, is every season you have to buy the battle pass or whatever they call it just to do their new activity.
Oh.
And so it's just like, I want to play this, but I can't.
You're seeping money.
Yeah,
That's
you're
all.
seeping money. I'm not going to spend like, I technically could, but my countenance is like, you don't need to spend $10 to enjoy playing this game.
Yeah.
So,
Like,
What does the battle pass give you? Skins?
cosmetics.
so what Destiny 2
chances
did,
to getting other stuff. Yeah.
what Destiny 2 did was they gave you paints basically, and you can paint your gear. So like my paint was always like white and gold, and it looked super cool.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So like you have the seasons, the paints for the skin, and
That, and they also had dances.
guns. They've been doing dances, emotes, and I just forgot, but they actually are doing exotic weapons. But if you don't pay for it, you just have to get to a specific level. So I got the exotic weapon for getting to level 35.
Nice.
But like now it's just like whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what, I don't know, it's kind of
So
hit and
If
miss.
there's nothing to aim for.
Is the certain formula of Destiny right now, is it make new users not want to play it because it's this big gulf to
Kind of. It's such a massive game too that it kind of sucks too, because new players, they start at a specific power and then they go up. like me, I started day 1 at 0.
Mm.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so like a lot of the game is missing, and that's what a lot of players are like, whatever. And it is free on Steam, I think,
Without any of the DLC.
but none of the DLC, which is like now one planet.
Yeah.
So it's like, what's the point of even playing it for free? So
I mean, it's like the free trial on World of Warcraft. It's like
yeah,
or RuneScape. You get like 1% of the game.
yeah. So
It's just kind of they're trying to like poke you with the addiction needle, like it's trying to, or like a fishing pole, like trying to get you to catch
it's
the
like
hook.
Puff or
Buy all the DLC now.
the magic dragon. Oh, you're gonna get me! You're gonna get me, and you never get it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, but I've paid for all the DLCs. It's just now the battle passes. I'm just like, I want to play this new Battlegrounds, but now I can't because I have to spend $10. And they've actually made the decision to keep making the game bigger and taking like certain pieces of the game and then throwing Destiny 1 remastered stuff into it. So the first raid, the Vault of Glass, is coming back next month. And so like everyone's excited. So now they're playing the game of, oh, we can get these suckers with remastered stuff.
It's like Disney making those movies.
Just like Nintendo making remakes of Pokemon, and
it's the remake era, and I have a hate love for it. But
like me, I love it to the point where it's like I get to play this game that I haven't played in forever, a little remastered. It feels great, but then it's also like, well, I'm buying this game again.
$60.
Like,
yeah, you're buying it again.
You bought Diamond for like probably $30 when it came out, right, on the DS.
40.
Yeah, 40.
And now it's 60.
And it's 60. Oh gosh.
Thing is, I don't know where it is. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's get out of the doom and gloom of that game right now.
Yeah.
What's your favorite games that you're playing right now?
Currently, have you heard of Outriders?
I've heard of it. I haven't seen it.
It's fun as a single player. It's also on Game Pass for free.
Yeah.
So that's also why I was like kind of glad. I was going to cancel it last month. And then it was like, oh, Outriders coming out. They just got done with their server issues. And so it's really fun. It's basically how I think of it. It's Gears of War.
That's what it looks like. Yeah.
And but it's Borderlands kind of loot system. Like certain bosses drop loot. And you can tier up your like experience leveling, and it's just kind of, I haven't gotten deep into it, but it's really fun.
Nice.
I actually been getting into Rocket League because I just started doing tournaments, and the reason I like tournaments is because I get that adrenaline kick at 9:00 at night.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, come on, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go win this thing.
Yeah, let's go win this thing. It's not like, oh, I'm just going to play another match.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I can earn points also if I win, and I can turn it in to get cosmetics to make my car look cooler too.
Or get like goal explosions. Or
Yeah, and they're actually cool. They're cool. Yeah. And during the season, that's the only time you can get those specific tournament rewards.
Yep.
But it's at random. So, like, the first 2 things I opened up were the same item.
Oh,
I was just like,
duplicates.
and I'll never use it. And you can't turn it in.
Wow.
It's a non-refundable
But that's
cosmetic.
like the fun of it too, because it's kind of like gambling.
You're gambling.
Because like they used to do crates. Do they still do crates?
No, they do blueprints.
Gotcha. Because they used to do crates where you'd spend money for keys, like every other game in the world, and then it'd just be like a lottery wheel, and it's just like whatever you get. And like I probably spent $30 or $40 on those crates, and I opened like one or 2 exotics, and just like, this is amazing.
Yeah,
I'm so happy.
It's so cool, especially if it's a specific color, because you can sell it too sometimes, and like some of them are pretty expensive.
Yeah.
Like one of the cars, it's white, titanium white, octane. At one point, it was like $150, and like some people would get it, and they would just sell it.
Right.
Could you sell it like to other players or?
They would they would Venmo it and like do that.
Okay.
Yeah. So like,
but how do you stop people from scamming?
I don't know.
Gotcha. Because like I remember when
there were some certain websites that were like once this happens, the Venmo will work, or like the PayPal will work.
Gotcha.
So it was kind of weird.
Because like I remember back when I was playing about a year and a half ago, before Epic bought Rocket League, they were still doing crates and stuff like that. And when you wanted to trade, you could trade. Everything had a certain value based on like the base crate, at that time, because there's a crate that was like worth 1 crate, and then there's the 10 other crates that could be worth like 0.8 or 0.4 of a crate. And if you had, say, a exotic decal or whatever, something that somebody would want really badly, it'd be like, okay, this is 100 crates. Yeah. So then you'd be able to trade that way, and it's equal, fair. Everybody's happy.
I don't know if that still exists, but
probably doesn't, because crates aren't a thing anymore. Like,
and they lowered the prices.
Oh yeah,
yeah, just recently too. So it's
there's so many
on certain things.
So many
it's still the same price. Like to get exotic wheels, it's like $20, and I'm like, I'm not going to spend $20 to get exotic wheels if I can just play tournaments and get cool wheels.
You don't want to
better getting it too.
Yeah, and you like earned it. You grind it for those points.
Yeah. Like I wouldn't feel good just like unless I traded it, because like trading was super fun to do, because you just go on like the Xbox, because I would play it on Xbox. You go onto like the community page, and all it was people like sending out messages for trades. Yeah, it's like, I'm trading orange Zombas for 50 crates, and I was like, sweet, I'm gonna do that. Let's do it. And you trade it, and it's like, dude, I got sick wheels now.
Yeah,
because you grinded for those crates. You played 100 hours to get those 50 crates, like,
and you could trade crates between each other. So I would just give him my crates because I was never going to open them. Oh, yeah. So he was always just trading up for stuff. Mm-hmm. So the other game, a month ago, I was in the Stardew. I put 60 hours into a new world, and then I was just like, I just can't anymore.
Yeah.
And then
you told me about the new DLC that I didn't hear about.
Yeah, the new DLC is fun. It's just kind of once you get there, you're just like, oh, I'm here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I looked up a video on how to find they call them golden walnuts. And once you find all of them, then like the game can be fun, but it's also like you're at just like, do I want to do this? Do I not want to?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like, and so I just was like, I don't know. I need to get doing something else.
I think it'd be hard to get back into a game like Stardew Valley after playing it so much in the past.
There are cool things like you get a horse whistle, you blow the whistle and your horse just appears by you.
Oh, nice.
Or there's like a mushroom. You know how like if you don't chop down your mushrooms at the beginning, they can become really big.
Yeah.
You can actually earn those and like grow them where you want. And just like stuff like that, that's kind of cool to throw in the game. But it's not something I don't know. It's not like I'm going to go to my wife and be like, hey, look at what I did in Stardew Valley. Like,
we just got it on the Switch, and it has the split screen mode. So
yeah, you can do split screen.
On the same TV, on the same farm. It's been fun.
Mimi's cool because she'll play that. Like, I showed it to Brina, and she's just like,
boring.
Yeah, not for me. I'm going to stick with Animal Crossing once every month.
Yeah. It's like my wife, like, we have nothing in common.
Yeah.
But our personalities match up, so that's why we work out.
Yeah.
But like she's just like, no, I'm not gonna touch it. I don't even walk in a straight line. I don't know how to play this. So she's just like, it's a waste of time for me. So.
Do you like baseball games?
Like video games? Yeah. Not really, because it's like COD. I'm gonna play another baseball game. Mm-hmm. Like I don't know. It's just like I'm just sitting there. I'm not gonna. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Because MLB The Show is coming on Game Pass.
Yeah, I saw that.
Which is huge, but
I might take a look at it if there's like some like Rocket League with the tournaments. Like that's fun.
Yeah.
But also, I haven't played a baseball game in like a decade, so it's like
Xbox never had a baseball game. A good one.
Yeah. So, I watched Trevor May. I am Trevor May. He pitches for the Mets, but he also plays video games and he plays games like that.
He plays The Show.
Yeah.
Well, like, I don't know. I feel like it's fun when you play against somebody, but I since high school, I haven't been able to like get into like a football or baseball game just because it's like I'm playing by myself against things I know I'm gonna be like.
Yeah.
So all I can say is the only sport game I wish would come out is Mario Superstar Strikers on the Switch.
Super Strikers.
A Switch port or just a new.
Yeah,
it's called Superstar Strikers.
Maybe they will because they just came out with golf and did Tough come out first.
Mario Strikers.
Yeah.
Like they might
maybe when like the FIFA World Cup happens again, they might sneak it in there.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
The Wii had a Super Strikers. It was different.
Yeah.
It was the same, but it was like a little more. I didn't like the vibe they were.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're just trying to make it more kid friendly. when the Wii one came out, because the Wii was trying to go a lot more for the younger.
Yeah.
And we were just right in that era of teenagers, like, they're making this easy, this is dumb, like, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, imagine you could play online on that.
That would be cool.
Have like a tournament.
Rank up, like all that stuff. Like, but it's Nintendo. I don't know if they will do that.
Their servers wouldn't be good enough.
The Switch isn't good enough.
Well, the Switch is fine. Like, yeah, it has terrible frame rate and terrible processor. It's just like their servers can't hold up a game.
Yeah.
Like, you try to play Super Smash and it's like not good.
It's like our mom just got a Switch just because our nephew and niece like want to play something, and I just played Rocket League today, and I was like, "This is awful. Like, you're so slow compared, and
is it 30 frames?
Yeah, probably less as you're playing. It drops,
yeah.
And especially living out here with the internet.
They just came out with Apex Legends on the Switch.
It's awful. It's memeing right now. No. One of the people I watch, Mr. Fruit, he played it just as a meme. It's like, well, today we're gonna try to get a win on the Switch. He was like, "Oh no, this is awful." It's just
you can't
it was
aim
bad.
with the joysticks.
You can't.
I tried Fortnite like when it first came out years ago.
Yeah,
I could not.
Their joysticks are too
know,
short,
and they know that they suck because they make it so that you can do the gyroscope aiming, which is better than the joystick. You literally have to like tilt the whole controller.
I don't know. Some people could get good at that though, because you just like have to flick over and then okay, boom, boom.
Even Splatoon is the default aim by.
Really?
I got it, and I was like, really? Okay, this. I have to do this. Okay, I'm going to the settings and see if I can switch it, and you can. But even then, it's just so bad. Just the X and Y tilting.
Get a pro controller.
It was on a pro controller.
Oh gosh, that's bad.
Yeah.
Like when Outriders first came out, it was just like, you know how like when you push right and it goes like this, up and then down. Yeah, that's how Outriders was. And I was like, oh great. And then their servers were a lot better 3 days after, and they got pretty. It's really fun.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know. Can't think of any other games. Because those are like the 4 main games I go to at night.
So before we wrap it up, there's one more topic we want to talk about. Well, with you,
okay.
All of us are kind of younger, newly marrieds, especially me and Sawyer and Carter with one little kid. But you have 2 little kids, and we just want to hear how it's like having kids and gaming and that being your hobby.
When I first got married, it was great because like my wife would let me play video games. And now it's like you're a parent, you have responsibility, and our 4-year-old, he wants me to lay with him to go to bed. And some nights it's like there's no choice. So I don't get to play video games until he's asleep, which is around like 7:30.
Yeah.
And then it's like, hey, babe, can I play games? Kind of like, is it okay?
Yeah. Are you going to be mad at me?
Yeah, kind of like, are you going to be mad at me for the 3rd day in a row or 20th day in a row? But we kind of have that, like, it's just kind of like, you can watch your shows, I'll play my games, kind of cool.
You're around each other all day.
Yeah, we're around each other.
With each other.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so every couple's different, but with gaming, that's kind of like my getaway from everything. So she kind of sees that and is like, yes, go. You can do what you want. We're adults here. And we've been married for almost 7 years. So we're just like, what haven't we done like together? I'm not going to turn on a video. I can't sit through movies or shows just because I just get bored of them. I don't have the attention span to care.
Yeah.
Unless it's something that I really enjoy. But that's just something nice. But when you add in another kid or 2, it might not be as much as I would like. So I guess you might have some of that experience.
Yeah, it sounds close to me. Once my son's in bed, we just make sure everything in the house is good, and then we kind of do our own thing. She's big into like her music and her shows and stuff, like her Asian shows.
Yeah.
And she's busy all day with our son, and I'm busy all day at work. So we have like a couple hours. I can do some schoolwork and then do the rest of my night just playing some games. And I'm like you, I'd rather play a game than sit there and watch something. Because my dad, his like wind down hobby, I guess, is like just TV shows. And for me, I feel like it's going to be just playing some games. Even when my kids grow up, I want to play games with them.
Yeah.
Like, I want to play Mario Kart. Even if I can't play like the game I want to play, I'd rather play Mario Kart with my kids than sit there and watch a show, you know.
Yeah, actually, right now, our oldest, he's 4, but he's getting to like trying to hit the ball in Rocket League. Within this week, we just started. He can hit the ball almost like 50% of the time, passing it if it's not moving.
Yeah.
So I play like little matches with him.
Yeah.
And I just played Mario Kart with him today.
Right.
Like with all the little helps, he can do pretty good. Like,
yeah.
Like with the little antenna that helps you stay on the track and the...
You don't fall off or you're not last every
automatic
time. Yeah.
driving.
Keeps you going.
Acceleration.
Yeah.
Because they don't have that attention span as we've built up of playing the game.
Yeah.
Because like halfway through the game, he'll just be like, "Daddy, I see you playing."
Yeah.
Like pointing at him.
I was playing
Just
Koopa. He was like, "I see Koopa." The Koopa, come here, Koopa. Just like, but it's kind of entertaining. Actually, one of the coolest people I've met was a doctor because I got my bachelor's degree in healthcare administration, and I was working in Rexburg at a clinic, and the doctors, when Destiny 2 came out, that's when I was working there, and they're like, "Hey, Will. Did you see that new expansion? Did you see that video?" It was like, that's all we talked about when we saw each other. And there was another guy, and the cool doctor, he played 2 of the Pokemon games with his 2 sons all the way through. They played side by side, like going through.
That's awesome.
Like, and then that's like something I want to do, especially if like one of our kids isn't into sports.
Yeah.
Like that would be something to do.
Right.
So. I don't know. That's kind of, again, everyone's different with their kids. Because I know some people whose wives would be like, "No, you're going to watch the show with me." Like, "No, we're watching a movie tonight. No, we're going to go hang out." Mm-hmm. And my wife's kind of nice because she's just like, "You can do what you want. Like, you don't have to be Mr. Cuddle Bud all day."
Yeah.
But like, there is a healthy balance. Like
there is healthy
it's
balance.
the same with Brina, and I've only been married less than a year, so it might change over time. But like some nights it's go do your own thing, but other nights it's like
come love me,
come love on me. Like I just need some cuddles right now.
Well, like for when I did my internship for elementary education, I didn't play one video game for 3.5 months because I was so busy with lesson plans, figuring out what I was doing the next day. Because it's like my very first experience with actually doing it. And then on top of that, you have 2 classes and a paper to write. Like a 20-page paper. And it's just like, I don't have time.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got to write my paper.
Yeah.
That's kind of the reason I like the way I went through school. Is because like, once I go into student teaching, that's the one thing I'm focusing on. I don't have to worry about any other classes. I don't have to worry about any other papers to write. It's...
Yeah, Carter will experience this in the next year or 2.
Yeah.
Because it's just a grind, and once you're done, you're bored.
Yeah.
Like, I'm done, but now what do? I'm looking for jobs.
Yeah.
And if there's no jobs, I play video games, or I hang out with my wife.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's kind of fun.
I don't want to go too long, but I was just curious, because it sounds like Destiny in college was like your peak. Did you have a ton of... Did you play games as a
Yes,
kid?
I was actually thinking... one of your episodes, you guys talked about hardcore gaming.
Yeah.
That was probably the closest to hardcore gaming I ever got. Was because I remember one day I was at home by myself because my wife was with a friend.
Yeah.
They came back at 10 o'clock at night, and they're like, "You're still playing?" This was 7 hours into the first grade, and we were on the last thing. I was like, "Leave me alone. I gotta do this."
Shut up!
But actually, a lot of people don't know this, but when I was growing up, our mom was actually really against video games, like
Especially
shooting games.
Oh, okay.
So we only had like Mario or even Super Smash Bros. When on the 64, I remember sneaking to my mom's room and stealing it so we can play it because we obviously fought over who won or whatever. But that was like the only experience. And then when it just reminded me of videos of like when I have adult money now, I can spend it on whatever I want.
Yeah.
They have like giraffe costumes.
That was like my biggest purchase for myself so far of being married was my Xbox One.
Yeah.
And that was when it was first out, and it was $400 just to get it.
Yeah.
And so I had to buy another controller, buy games, and so it became like $600. But yeah, we played kind of, and Pokemon. Pokemon was always in our hand.
Yeah, and I just remember the first shooting game we ever got was Medal of Honor Rising Sun, and our brother bought it, and Dad knew about it,
and he was probably pissed.
Well, and we were all just like, just keep it away from Mom. Don't tell her we have it.
Yeah.
Like, just don't tell Mom. Just don't tell Mom.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's funny.
our dad's completely, like, he hates when we play video games, because...
Oh, really?
Like, everything's a waste of time. You guys talked about it. So,
Yeah.
he just thinks there's just other better things to do. But, like, everyone has their opinions and views. And so I'm not going to be like, no, you're wrong. So...
Yeah. Because there are probably other things that are better for me to be doing, too.
Yeah.
But there's also things I could be doing worse. Like,
I just don't have the
about it
money
100
to
times.
do anything, really.
Yeah.
So...
If something that you enjoy doing helps with your mental health and your emotional health, and just being happy, then that's a good thing.
Yeah,
As long as it doesn't affect your life.
That's what Professor Broman, he did a podcast.
Yeah.
He started like 3 years ago, and that's one of the very first episodes I ever listened to. It was like, it's like, take care of yourself. And like, he talked about all the ways he took care of himself. It wasn't just video games, it was other things. And
like there's many, many different things that pull me out of like a depression slump. Like,
yeah.
we talked about spring is like one of my happiest times of year because I can finally go out and do the golf course. But like, I'm also having a good time at nights with you guys playing video games. Like, there's multiple things that you have to do for yourself. You can't just focus on one thing.
Yeah.
Soda. And Monster, his Monster won that episode. I don't remember the sweets, the mango juice.
Man, he might be the best. Like, he might.
I listen to when I play.
Number one fan. He might.
Watch out, Kevin.
Watch out, Kevin and
Carter. Well, Kevin basically committed murder on his episode.
Well, I just talked to Carter yesterday. The other
Carter,
guest, and he was like, "Oh, I just listened to the Kevin episode, and I feel bad because he's totally more of a fan than me because I haven't been watching them lately."
I haven't listened to the most recent one, but it will definitely be coming through my ears.
For sure.
We'll keep pumping them out every Wednesday till the end of time.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for watching.
Thanks for having me.
It's really fun to be able to share some of your stories because, I don't know, you're my brother and I don't get to hear them all the time. So, I don't know. Anything else you guys got?
Share the podcast with your friends if you enjoy it. We just appreciate every one of you guys. And if you want to hit us up, we'll be active on Discord any day.
Thank you guys. Deuces.
Bless you.